So today we'll just begin, as we always do, with our attention on our breath. So let's bring our hands to our heart and our belly and just arrive in the room, arrive in our bodies. 3 deep breaths. One more. I'm going to adjust the camera just to come a little lower so you can see me. Okay. So we're going to do a ground routine today. I just find in life you just have to be able to flow with the go. I have multiple cameras and only for some reason one is wanting to work correctly. So we're just going to go with it. And sometimes that's what you have to do. The show has to go on. You have to continue. Let's start with the neck. Breathing, letting go of any tension. You have to just keep the show going. Not in the sense of performing, but just in the sense of keeping the momentum of what you're creating. You know, I could very well have used, the camera situation as an excuse not to go live. But instead, I'm just choosing ease and grace. For the next 7 days, I'll likely come on around 5:30. So if you want to join me, come at 5:30. It's likely also the time I'm going to continue my practice in my real life. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. Let's just continue to let go of the neck. Freeing up the shoulders of all the shoulds that we put there sometimes. It takes courage just to do your own thing. It takes courage to be on your own schedule. It takes courage to say you've changed your mind once you've committed to something. Hi, baby. And at this point in my life, I value my snuggles with my baby in the morning over some other timeline of doing things in the morning. I just want to be in the morning. That's what serves my nervous system. Moving to half circles here with the neck. Breathing. Using the breath to facilitate opening. Hi, honey. And now tuck the chin and then look up. Tuck the chin and look up. I can't relax and play tug of war, honey. Sorry. Go lay down. Go, I'll play with you in a little bit. I know. If we're going to have our snuggles in the morning, you have to be willing to push your timeline back on play. We'll play in 30 minutes. Okay? Go lay down. 30 minutes, baby. And we'll play. And now we'll turn our head to the side. And chin over shoulder. A lot of times we know the right answer. You know what has to be done. But we fear the consequences. And usually it's some intangible consequence, like being thought of as something other than what you want to be thought of as, like reliable, nice, responsible. Tuck your tailbone and tuck your head and lift in a cat camel. Let's bring one foot up, hands on the inside of the foot, aiming the inside elbow for the heel. See it there? Just opening the hips. And switch. Just breathe. Switch again. Switch. And now we'll do hamstring rocks. So we'll rock in, knee passes the ankle, fire up the quad and push back, and let the toes lift. Chest out, lift the tailbone to get a stretch on the hamstring, and then in again. Nice long lunge, knee passes the ankle. Turn on the quad to come out, pull back. Knees can be connected with the fear of moving forward, so sometimes if you have discomfort in the knee, you can look a little more deeply into what fear is inhibiting your forward motion. I did some hamstring work yesterday, so some residual tension from the work I did. Let's do one more. Lean in. And drive out. The more that you activate the muscle in the deeper range when the knee is bent, the less crunching, cracking you'll hear. Support the joint, especially if you don't move in that range often. And switch. Go this way. Let the knee pass the ankle, keeping the heel down. Let all the tissues of that lower leg be on stretch. Turn on the quad and drive out. Chest out. Lift the tailbone in the back. Feel the stretch in the hamstring. Give yourself some self-massage. And in again. I think the lower legs are one of the most undervalued and get the least attention of all the body parts. They are one of the most important, as they are the bridge between our feet and the rest of the body. Again, one more time. We should have at least 4 inches of space between our knee and our tip of our toes. Our knee should be able to pass our toes with our heel flat. And if it can't, it's something I invite you to work on. Okay. Now we're going to do adductor rocks. So I'm going to go around my doggy here. You can put one leg out to the side and you push your butt back. Try not to let your butt tuck under. You should feel it in your adductors. I find these are tight for many people. We tend to ignore them in our workouts unless we sit in an adductor machine or ADD and ABD ductor machines. And other side. But even unless you do them in a certain way, they're not really as effective as they might seem, just because they are good for stabilization. But as far as performance, doing them in a closed chain fashion with your feet connected to the floor is the best way to connect it to actual life and functionality. Now we're going to start to rotate. So we're going to open, bring it down, open. So we're rotating, toe up to the ceiling. And switch. Leg out to the side, rotating up to the ceiling. Doing any self-release that you need. Yeah, baby. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. You got an eye booger. An eye booger. Okay. And then we're going to lay flat on our bellies. One of the best things I've ever done to help relieve and maintain my back from pain is to spend time in the opposite direction that I'm usually in. So being in full extension here versus being in flexion, which is the seated position in L shape in a chair. Really any position where your knees are bent. Just being here and breathing, feeling opening happening in the front of the hips. You can push yourself up away from the floor and also forward, so up and forward. So you feel the stretch. You can do Curious Cobra. You can put your hands by your chest and come up here. But today we're just gonna hang out here and focus on the positioning of our legs, keeping them aligned with our hips. Okay, you going out, baby? Okay. You coming out? Go ahead. I gotta be here. I can't go anywhere right now. Go ahead. Okay. So I'm just enjoying the spaciousness in the front of the hips. The intention of my energy pulling slightly forward and up. Just allowing the hips to open. I'm going to slide one leg up along my side and peek up over the long leg. Still getting long through the spine. And then go the other way. Getting long through that long side. Straight side. Looking over the bent knee side. And come back to the middle. I spend time like this a lot, watching on the computer, so I'll put a pillow under my chest to elevate me a bit to support myself so I'm not on my shoulders the whole time. Peeking up over the bent leg. And switch. Look over the bent leg, over that shoulder. My dog is way too quiet. I'm certain she's chewing something she shouldn't, because she wanted me to play and I didn't. I definitely have a spoiled, rotten little pup. She's the sweetest little girl ever. Getting long, peeking over. You can change your angle of your chest, accentuate stretch in a different way. And then we'll go into the child's pose. So we'll put her head on the floor. Arms along the sides of your body. Just letting go. So right now I'm stretching the thoracic spine, so you're opening up the upper back, pushing against the heels, rounding the back, creating some space. Breathing. Now come up. Come onto your side. Both hands in front. One leg up, other leg straight. We're going to inhale, exhale, open. Inhale, exhale, open. One more time. And let's switch sides. Opening the upper back, letting go the feeling of the lack of support, the need to have more support in order to do the thing, to be courageous enough to do the thing. Whatever the thing is. One more. And let's turn back over and revisit child's pose. Breathe. Come up and open the spine, toes tucked under. Go hand on the heel, raise one arm. Sometimes we get stretched, we get moved into or bent into molded into a different position than we're used to. When we step out, encourage. And then let's do one more on each side. And last one. And then let's do one with both hands on. Go one here, here. And we'll return to child's pose again. And one more time, both hands on. Hi, honey bunny. One more time. And back into child's pose. Look out, baby. Coming in. Hi, honey.
Breathing. Baby, you're stepping on my elbow. That's my elbow. I need all 60 pounds of you off my arm. Macy, move. Hey, sit, 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 sit. Good girl. I just needed you to get off my elbow. Good girl. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Now we just have to breathe. We just have to breathe now. Okay. We'll talk to the people about breathing. So today, we're just going to breathe with a good old favorite that's opposite and alternate nostrils. 3 fingers up, front of the third eye, pinky and thumb working as closers. Start with exhalation on the left side and then inhalation on that same side. Close it off with the pinky and it comes out on the thumb side. And do one more time each side and end where we began on the left side. Exhalation. And from this place of balance and clarity and willingness to be courageous, what is your intention for today? Just take a moment to formulate that from the heart space. Let it arise. And now is a perfect time to segue into 1 minute to 3 minutes of visualization of who you're becoming. And until next time, tap in, rise up, and have a powerful, powerful day.